tell you that's an everyday occurrence.
Yeah.
That's not a one-time isolated incident. We see this on the daily basis.
Right. All right. I know you're rolling, so go. What up, gang? Coming down here live from Main Street Cycle in Tishomingo, Mississippi, 1295 Main Street. I just had to fix the situation as far as somebody's bike. They bought it from somewhere else and the motor is shot. I'm gonna just say that, the motor is shot. I'm doing this to tell you why I need you guys to bring, first of all, buy your bike from Main Street Cycle, and especially your service, anything wrong with it, bring it to Main Street Cycle. So I just wanna introduce those top tier mechanics that we have at Main Street Cycle. But first, y'all know boss man, Mr. Stephen Crane.
How y'all doing? So it's like Jeffrey says, it's almost an everyday occurrence for us. People will carry their stuff to these other shops and get subpar work done. And one thing we do here at Main Street Cycle, we really pride ourselves in our work. We've been in business for 24 years. We have 2 locations. One location we just work on Harleys only. But we really pride ourselves in what we do. We do what we do right the first time, and it always saves you money when we do it right the first time. So all these guys I got behind me, I'm missing Joel. Joel's not gonna be in this video, so he talked for me to talk, or put in the video and talk about, but I'll just tell you a little bit about Joel. If you go back and look at some of Blake's and Jeffrey's videos, we have showed some stuff for Joel has been here since he was, I guess literally since he's 3-4 years old. He's grown up in this shop doing everything. There's nothing Joel can't do. He's had his hands in everything, whether it be sales, the parts side of it, whatever needs to be done, Joel can do. And I wish he was in this video with us, but he's not.
Me too, and the thing I do with Joel is brag to y'all, and I'm not kidding. Dude can listen to the bike and tell you what's wrong with it.
He absolutely can.
He actually sunk my bike at B&B.
Yeah.
He pulled up whatever he did and the gas and blah, blah, blah. And I got to finish my ride. So get well, Joel.
I'll introduce the rest of my people here to you. And this is not everybody. We still have this many more people that's doing other things, but as we're shooting this video, we got to keep a shop running. There's customers here buying, there's people at the parts counter buying parts. So this ain't the whole team, but this is some of the key players we got, and I'll introduce them, may ask them to say a word. I don't know that some people don't like to talk on camera. I see Harmon smiling big. Yeah. But we got Harmon Massengill. Harmon is actually some kinfolks of ours, and he's worked at our location here in Tishomingo, and he's also worked at our Harley shop in Red Bay. I would say between both shops, you've been here 15 years, but between both shops, 15, 17, 18 years, something in there. But Harmon, you are the guy that pretty much can do anything. I think a lot of times when Jeffries says I'm coming down, he said I'm gonna get Harmon to do this, I'm gonna get Harmon to do that. So yeah. I think Jeffries kind of even took a liking to Harmon. But Harmon, just tell the camera, what do you like doing at Main Street Cycle? What's kept you here all these years, and what's your favorite things to do?
Installing clutch kits.
Installing
tires,
clutch kits.
Wheels.
Tires and wheels.
It's kind of my thing, motorcycle tires.
The one thing about it is we definitely go through a bunch of clutch kits in a day's time. That's for sure. But Harmon, he is, Jeffrey, you said it, he top tier mechanic.
Top tier.
And I really feel like everybody that works for Main Street Cycle is top tier. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just gonna tell you, when I say top tier, these guys really are top tier. These ain't people that's like some of the shops and other shops, they got high school kids, and I'm not knocking high school kids, they need jobs, but they gotta learn. They gotta learn from people like Harmon and Devin and Tim and Rob, everybody here.
And that's why I tell people, it's not a Can-Am, it's not a Honda, it's not another brand, it's a CF Moto, which they can fix all those other brands. But your CF Moto, you have to have somebody that knows a CF Moto. I know Devin knows that he fixed my first bike before I even knew Main Street Cycle. and I met Harmon, I met Joe. These guys, Mr. Tim, they know CF Moto. You have to know CF Moto to work on it. You can't have your cousin them fixing on it. You just can't.
It also works, and you're right, you're so right about that. Just because a guy can work on a Harley Davidson or a Can-Am or a Polaris, he don't know CF Moto,
Right.
and vice versa.
Right.
You know, you go to a Polaris dealership or a Honda dealership, you know, most Honda dealerships ain't gonna work on a Polaris. But that is one thing that divides Team MSC and Main Street Cycle is we're not just CF Moto.
Right.
We do work on it. It is our brand we sell alongside with Segway. But talking about Harmon's experience, we've been selling CF Moto for 10 years. But Harmon's worked here, like we said, 15 to 18 years. I'll get to Mr. Tim here in just a minute. He's been here 20 plus years. You know, I wanna elaborate on the guys that does have the Can-Am. We have the guy, including Joel, but we have a guy that's worked on hundreds of Can-Ams. Devin's new, but I'm sure you've worked on some Can-Ams and stuff you do. Tim's worked on hundreds of Can-Ams, hundreds of Polarises. As a matter of fact, Tim or Harmon, one of the two will be working on a Polaris the biggest part of the day today. So this is not, Main Street Cycle Team MSC is not just CF Moto. One of the main things we want to get out there is we work on all brands, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, and we have a guy that's like Jeffrey said, we know CF Moto. Harmon knows Can-Am, Polaris. Tim knows Honda. We have a team that can do all of that for you. Devin, as most of y'all, a lot of y'all actually know Devin from the riding because he has been an avid rider with all of our riding groups for so long. But Devin was a mechanic in the military for 6 years, and then he's been working in Memphis, and he just recently located to Tishomingo. But Devin is the real deal mechanic. Devin, if you want, could you possibly talk about some of your experience, what you do, what you like, and
Well, I worked on tanks in the military, heavy equipment, and then when I transitioned out of the military, I started working on 18-wheelers, hydraulics, a little bit of everything. I've always been an avid ATV side-by-side rider. I've always done all my own maintenance, repaired all my things, all my buddies' things that they couldn't get to. So I've always been in everything, and I just like turning wrenches.
Well, I can tell you, Team MSC and Main Street Cycle's got big plans for you. I was talking to Joel just a little earlier today, talking about the next 20 years. That's part of the conversation we have. We're not looking ahead 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We're looking ahead years and years. And one of the conversations me and Joel had today is preparing for the next 20 years. Got Mr. Rob here, moved from Michigan. Rob's been with us for a year and a half?
About a year and a half.
A year and a half, I think it was something like that. Rob is not a mechanic other than he does come out here and he mechanics on his own things. He puts his own clutches in, his own clutch kits. He's putting his exhaust on. Whatever Rob's doing, he is turning his own wrenches, doing his own thing. So he does have the ability. And that's one of the things that makes him real good at that parts counter too. You'll not meet a guy that is better at talking on the phone, talking to customers, helping you find what you need. And part of the reason is he knows how to turn his own wrenches. He knows what he's doing. Rob, if you took just a second, what do you like doing? What do you like about Main Street Cycle? What do you like doing here? Just anything, talk to them.
Oh, for me, my passion is just to help the customers understand what's going on with their vehicle, help them out, make sure they get the best service around, and see the process from the beginning to the end, and leave with a handshake and a smile once they're done.
Yeah, I like it. And you certainly do a good job at that. Have Mr. Tim here. He is, other than one more employee that wasn't able to make this video, he's our second longest employee to be here. Tim, probably nervous if he had to talk on camera. Tim is an old man. Everybody here, we had to take it easy on Tim now. He's getting old on us, but he's been here 20 plus years. And Tim, if I was to ask you, what do you like doing here? What are you good at the best? What do you like? I know you can work on all brands because I've seen you do it. Seen you do it when Joel was knee high to both of us, and there was many times when it was just me and you. Me and you was the mechanics for years and years and years, and so I personally know what your abilities are. I know what we've done, but just in your own words, telling the general public, what do you what do you like? What do you think? And just talk to us a bit.
Mainly computer systems.
Computer systems.
The ATVs today are not like the ones years ago, where you had a carburetor and just a CDI that did the functions. Now you've got the same technology in the ATV as you have in an automobile. We got throttle by wire, where we used to have cables. We have no longer carburetors, we got fuel injection. We've got different sensors that you have to know what they do and how they work in order to diagnose and fix the problem. And just like Jeffrey said a while ago, you can't let your cousin go out there and work on it because he don't have the computer systems, he don't have the technology, he don't have the information that you need in order to diagnose and fix the system properly.
I agree with that 100%.
Exactly why. You gotta come to Main Street Cycle.
You know, what Tim just said was so true, but you just made me so proud of you right there and saying what you said, talking on the camera, because it's just, what you said is just, man, it's just such a fact.
It's facts.
One of our newest guys here, Mr. Ernest, and as we was coming out here, as we was coming out here, we was kind of prepping for this video, and I said, Ernest, I'm fixing to tell you something, and he's fixing to learn right now what I was fixing to tell him. But we've been putting units together out here in this shop. We've been selling new CF Moto units for 10 years. And me and Joel was having a conversation last week, and I just asked Joel, I don't spend as much time out here in the shop as Joel does, and I said, hey, how's Ernest doing? What do you think about Ernest? Hey, how long you been here now, Ernest? 4 months? 4 or 5 months. And Joel just went on and on about Ernest. He said, Daddy, he said, Ernest, when he gets done with it, he's done with it. When he's putting them together right here, when he puts the bolts on there, they're tight. It's put together right. It's not scratched up. He didn't get out here and get it dirty. Joel just went on and on, Ernest, about how good a job you're doing and how proud he is to have you putting the stuff together, because he don't have to double check your work. He ain't having to go back and say, hey, we need to do this or do that. You didn't do this. It's just when Ernest is done, Ernest is done. He's just a good guy too. We got Dan over here. I didn't ask you want to say anything, Ernest. I'm gonna put you on the spot for a minute.
Well, I like working here at Main Street Cycle, and I like building these machines here, and I hope to be here for as long as this place is here.
Me and Joel put a 20-year plan together this morning.
I'll be here.
Now I got Jeffrey Willis. Y'all all know Jeffrey Willis.
I did not get in line. I was
Got Mr. Dan here. Dan is a neighbor of mine. He lives across the road from me. I've known Dan, I would say pretty much all of our life. Dan's been a mechanic. He's always worked on tractors, automobiles, cars, and about 2.5 years ago, he come and said, hey, Steve, you got a place for me? And me knowing what he could do and his history of what he's done, I knew I had a place for him. And anything you'd like to say, Dan? Anything you're good at? Or
I'm good at tearing stuff up.
tearing stuff up?
But all jokes to the side, I enjoy accessorizing these machines and I just enjoy
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So one of the things I'll go ahead and say, Ernest to finish this four-wheeler right here, he'll get it where it goes. Now Ernest can put accessories on too. I ain't taking nothing from him, because he definitely puts his share of bumpers and whatever it needs to be. But if we're needing units put together, Ernest move to the next unit, and then it'll go to Dan. And Dan, one thing we do at Main Street Cycle is we do lots of accessorizing. We will put a stock one on the floor, but we really want it to have accessories on it, because that's what you as a customer want. Y'all don't want stock stuff. You want modified stuff. You want it to be faster. You want front bumper, back bumper. You want protection. You want it to look good. You want tires and wheels and bigger stuff. And I'm telling you, this group of guys just does it all day. But that's one thing that Dan does. Then I got Derek here. Let me get where I ain't blocking. Got Derek. He's Rob's up front partner. He's just like Rob. I guarantee you, half of y'all have talked to Derek, but he knows what you need. He knows how to get you what you want. He knows what we're doing. Derek been here 2 months now.
I've been here
Been longer than that, hasn't it?
About 8 months now.
Has it been that long?
It has.
Golly.
Time flies.
Time flies.
Time flies. It's when you got a 20-year plan, you ain't looking at months, I guess, and that's what me and Joel, I keep stressing it, because I want these people that's watching, Jeffrey, I want these people to know that we're not gonna be here for a short period of time. We got a 20-year, 30-year plan. I figured 20 years will wrap my time up, but then Joel's gonna come right in here and he's got a son that hopefully will just keep right on passing Main Street Cycle down, and we're gonna be here for you long term.
So it's simple, gang. Simple. You buy it here, you bring it here. Say it with me. You buy it here, you bring it here. It's that simple.